Call the meeting to order. I'd like to ask you to stand and join us in a moment of silence for our troops. And our salute to the flag, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Any other members of the board want to close with anything? No?
No.
I was going to prepare a statement for tonight and answer the questions that Paul we sent out by email. I will talk to you off camera about those.
You have to apply by email.
Okay,
Keep it in contact.
I will do that. I mean, just at the lateness of the hour is probably best, but I will get them to you. I mean, 'cause I got a prepared speech I can read out, but it's, I mean, the chairman can see it. It's
Go right ahead. Go ahead, it's 9:30.
9:30. What I'd like to say with you today is what I think are critical to success in any profession. Number one, and maybe the most important, find something you love. Passion creates fuel. It creates the burning desire to know, to do what we love till we go to bed at night. A passionate person with a little bit of talent will always outperform a passive person with great talent. The second is a law of compensation. The more you give, the more you get in return. It's a simple principle, but it's amazing how many people never figure it out. The next thing is what influences success more than anything else. The biggest difference between those who succeed and those who fail lies in the difference of their habits. Adversity is common as the air you breathe. Have the courage when things get tough to stick to your plan. I like to discuss surviving success. In my mind, it's the toughest thing anyone has to deal with. We all know that we have to pay a high price no matter what the process is to be successful. One of my favorite quotes is this: for every 10 people who can handle adversity, there's only one who can handle success. The downside of success is like a virus. It's insidious. It's the master of a sneak attack. No matter where you are in your career, the worst thing you feel like is you have arrived. There's always someone out there willing to do the little things to take you down. The greater generation harness the good work done by one-on-one in local communities to larger movements for change in our nation and in our world. They remember what the philosopher Michael Sando has taught us, that when politics go well, we can know a good in common that we cannot know alone. The generation has an opportunity to restore faith in public life and in public action. And it seems like we've lost that, and maybe I have. Never lose your desire to transform charity into justice, division into civility, selflessness into generosity, cynicism into hope. More than before, we live in a world of instant reaction, constant judgment, and corrosive partisanship. Political debate is a wonderful thing, but partisan shrinking is corrosive and destructive. If we have to find solutions to the challenges we face, we have to relearn the virtues of compromise. If we are going to deal intelligently with the problems we confront, we need time to pause, to consider, and reflect. But our media, news and social, Twitter and Facebook, are intolerant to anything but an instant response. Rather than using information to illuminate the world, though we consume it like fuel, the more we burn, the faster we go. The faster we go, the less we see and understand. We slow down only for the accidents on the side of the road, and the biggest accidents still lie ahead. Only I fear when this occurs, it leaves us wondering where and why we lost our footing as a town, as a Board of Selectmen, and me personally. We will come to realize that what is communicated to us is vastly more important than the medium by which it's conveyed. One day, most Americans will point to us in the news media and say, and these are actually quotes I'll tell you in a minute, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you encourage all that violent venom? Why did you feed us all this trivial crap when so many terrible things were converging? And no one will be happy with the answer, least of all, those of us who offer it. What we gave you, we will say, is what you wanted. At this critical juncture in your lives, then, let me urge you, no, let me implore you to want more. More substance, more real information about important issues, more fairness, more objectivity, more tolerance for views that differ from your own. You have a truly magical array of media at your disposal. Use it, don't abuse it. What's happening here is there's been questions throughout about phone calls I've made. There was a letter to the editor by a former selectman criticizing something that happened 4 years ago, and how it's ridiculed, screamed at, and how it's ridiculed, screamed at, and how it's ridiculed, screamed at, and abused, and abused, and abused in front of my 6.5-year-old daughter. This job as selectman is not about my child. I will not tolerate it. And if you with the media and the enterprise are gonna try to do this to have my daughter take effect of it, then there's another thing coming. I'm telling you that to everybody right now. Be fair, do the facts. What happened 4 years ago with the planning board, there was a statement about the fact that I made a comment at the way home about the fact that I voted on the project, that I cost a developer, head builders, $2.75 million for the way I voted on the board. I stand by my vote on that issue. The vote was 4-2. We denied a special permit for 42 condo units for the Wildwood subdivision based on the facts that were made at that meeting. And it wasn't because I have an agenda to take down Mark, Brian, Suzanne, Kevin, everything else. That was not my agenda, and that's not my agenda. If anything, that night when Richard Morse came to me and asked me to show me a radiant heat driveway, I said, well, I can't go up to that development because I'm petrified. I'm petrified. I'm petrified of Mr. Hebb. Because back then I was 180 pounds, I'd just gone through a divorce, and I was afraid that Mark would probably berate me or punch me, berate me or punch me, berate me or punch me. And I don't know, but I was petrified. No one ever made a phone call when Sue, Mark, Brian, or anybody called and asked me for clarification, or even asked me what that was. They just wanted to run me off the planning board. Jamie had his agenda and he ran with it. Well, Jamie, you, as a leader in the town of Bourne, you failed. The town of Bourne, you failed. The town of Bourne, you failed. Because you did not serve your term as a Board of Selectmen. You did not serve your commitment. If you wanted to serve your commitment, you would have filled out your term or you should have ran for the planning board. I was elected by the people to do a job in this town. Some people may not like the way I'm doing it. Maybe I've made some mistakes in the process of doing it. But there is no bigger person in this town and sitting in this chair that enjoys what they do. But there are going to be limits. And one of them is my daughter is off limits. My daughter is off limits. My daughter is off limits. This question's about phone calls I made down to, to Chatham in regards to Mandy Speakman's position. It wasn't about a position. It was for salary structure research. We have sent emails out, which is public record, that I have asked, that I cut and paste a position in Orleans, that we've called other positions on the Cape in order to get a salary structure to see if $70,341 was enough to pay for a job. That's what the whole reason for it. It wasn't to undermine, it was to do due diligence. That's what it was. The phone calls up to the PMS. I've had a dialogue with PMS for many years, going back before I was a selectman. And so it was meant to just convey what we convey every year. It's a yearly phone call and a yearly visit. Well, Peter, what do you see this year in the neighborhood so we can try to fix it? That was the extent of it. And as of now, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Because this board voted tonight to instruct the town administrator, so I'm hands off. Phone calls to the Friends of the Council on Aging. I've spoken with Carol and Lisa on various occasions about the history of the Friends and the Council on Aging. Because when I ran last year, and when we sat here for this bullshit, part of my speech, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, and bullshit, part of my speech, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, and bullshit, part of my speech, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, about everything that's going on. I said I didn't know I was more lost now than I was before. I said I didn't know I was more lost now than I was before. I said I didn't know I was more lost now than I was before. I was trying to learn of what each organization has. So now everybody's trying to take down my credibility? No, I don't agree. People have a right to do what they want. But I was just doing my job. If I was doing it wrong, the chairman, the administrator, people could just tell me. I'll stop. With things like this that are going on, I may not run next year because I don't need this. I will serve my term and I will have my commitment. I will do what I was elected to do my job the best I can. But I'm sick of this vendetta on me. Because of political gain? No. I'm elected by the people to do a job the best I can. If I'm doing something wrong, if I'm doing something wrong, I will correct it. If I'm wrong, tell me, Mr. Chairman, and I'll do it right. I'm human. I make mistakes. I'm sorry I had to vent and get this off my chest, but it's enough. The French put up with it all these months because of some people's agenda. Now it's my turn? No. Well, maybe yes, because I'm an elected official. I have to take the criticism like every time. I'm elected. But like I said, and for the final time, my daughter is off limits.